ladies and for this, I was playing World of Tanks, and I was talking about 7 seemed like it was right around the corner, and you'll never so welcome to update 1.57, like I said. And this beautiful machine is the first of lanes added in, but I'm only, well, I say a lot, but it's really just a few planes were added in, and I'm only going to be details about, when these things were in service and blah 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 blah. I'm just kind of going to keep it, you know, logical by test driving them, firing them a couple times, and showing off speed, and yeah. So anyway, this, my friends, is one of the new German open-turreted tank destroyers, and as you saw by that first shot to our poor T-26 friend, it wrecks house, and it's tier 1, so if it wrecks, I'm kind of afraid to see what the rest of the tier leaves. But as you can see, it is actually very, very fast. I mean, look at this. Good lord. Very mobile. We're constantly gaining speed, so we're already up to 25 in a straight line on essentially a flat surface. Traverse, I imagine, is fairly good. Yep. Very good. And as we also saw with the T-34 and T-26, reload rate on this thing, really, really good. So if we just... Images of this thing are pretty easy detecting this gun. Not to mention it's open turreted, so artillery, bullets, and shrapnel. But let's head back to the quote-unquote hangar and move on to our next little buddy. Or we'll actually review the armor of the Panzerjäger 1 and the gun as well. So we'll take a quick gander. Panzerjäger 1. And if we show the armor, which we can't do, because for whatever reason the button to change it isn't working, so we'll change it via the actual thing. So as you can see, according to this, the armor around the plate is actually the thickest part about this tank, and even then, that's not very thick. So, guess what? Like most Germans, you've got a glass cannon. Not surprising. And X-ray, which I don't really think we need, but you can see the two gunners, or maybe the commander and gunner, and then the driver. Poor driver. So next on our list, our little old list, well, this isn't a new tank, but we can kind of show where this line is going. So that turns into our Martyr 3, which has been in the game since I started playing it. So, that doesn't say a lot. After the Martyr 3, we have the 3H, which I believe also was in game beforehand. Maybe I'm wrong. I think it was, though. But that turns into our next vehicle, the Dicker Max. Now, unfortunately, I can't test drive it yet because I don't, because either they haven't unlocked it yet, or I don't have I haven't researched prior stuff to actually be able to test drive it yet. But as you can see, this is the Dicker Max. Once again, another open-turreted German tank destroyer. But the unique thing about this thing is, if you note, the gun on it, which, let me find it, is a 105mm K-18 cannon. Wow. Wow. 105mm at rank 3. To put that into a comparison, the Tiger carries an 88. Let that sink in. Now that it's sunk in, if we take a look at the armor, and here's the trade-off for that big, powerful gun, it's a glass cannon. Like most German tanks, it's a glass cannon. Don't let these red spots fool you. Yeah, they're the thickest part on the tank, but at tier 3 with 88s and 76s, this thing is gonna mean nothing. So this is definitely going to be a let's sit in the back and just snipe from across the map kind of tank. And if we take a look at the X-ray, you can also see the crew is 5 men, the driver, what looks to be 2 gunners, a commander, and a loader, perhaps. But it's got battle rating 4.3, so you'll probably definitely meet Tigers, and I can't even think of high-tier Russians, but the M6, I believe, for the Americans, and the 76 wet stowage Shermans and whatnot. So this thing kind of nerfs itself with its glass armor. But it finally ends, still at tier 3, mind you. There's no 4 or 5, so maybe we'll see a Jagdpanzer, or a Jagdpanther. Nah, I'm kidding. The Jagdpanther's on the other side of the line. I don't know where this is going to go in terms of 4 and 5, but our Nashorn is after that, and that cannon actually reduces size from the 105 down to the 88. So, kind of interesting that they would reduce the size from 105 to 88. Basically what I mean by that is put the Nashorn after the Dickermax, but I digress. So again, just like all of the tanks in this tree, no armor. Nothing. Nada. The upside to this, though, is that you get a powerful 88, and this thing, from what I hear from another YouTuber that I have watched, Baron Von Games, you know, the link is actually on my channel, and like channels I'm subscribed to, / what. Anyway, from what I hear, this thing has some great gun elevation angles, so, you know, maybe a hill sniper? But as you can see, yet again, another crew of 5, perhaps. This is actually making this review a lot faster than I thought it would be, because I thought I'd have to test drive all of these things, and yeah. But that brings me to my next subject of interest, which is this beautiful thing right here, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to take it for a spin. I'm not going to show it off. I'm going to show it off in the field instead of the hangar, because everything's more beautiful and glorious in the middle of a field, right? Even if there's burning tanks and dead people. Anyway, I love the smell of napalm in the morning. No, I'm kidding. So yes, this tank is a premium tank, so it's not part of the main tree, so I wanted to cover it last before I move away from Germany. But as you can see, it is, yeah, essentially a duplicate Tiger II with some added armor on the turret. And that's about it. So basically, you're paying Golden Eagles for a Tiger II with extra armor and a cool camo pattern. I hope you're very pleased with yourself. And from what I can tell, this gun has a long reload time. I think it's the 88 though, so, I mean, or, no, I think it's the 105. Did Tiger IIs have 105s mounted on them? I think I've heard that from somewhere before. I don't remember, though. Can we kill a T-26 with a high explosive out of this big gun, do you think? I don't think we can. An even better question, can we drive-by do it? Yeah, we can! And we hit the track, of course. Alright, slow your roll. And this thing's actually pretty zippy for a heavy Tiger. Wow. Load the armor piercing so we can waste this fool. There's no point in playing around. Actually, can't we just penetrate with a machine gun? No, we can't. That's unfortunate. He's dead now, though. Anyway, so yeah, with this thing, though, I'm pretty sure you're going to be facing high-tier enemies, so stuff like the KV-2 and the IS-3 and whatnot. Speaking of KV-2s, bye-bye. So, yeah, there you go. An increased in armor Tiger, and actually you can kind of see, if you look right above the machine gun port, you can kind of tell where the extra armor has been added onto the front of the Tiger. We might get a closer look at that once we go back to the hangar. Now, personally, I think 1.5 adds a lot of great stuff. I mean, you're getting an entirely new German line, several new a couple of British tanks, I believe, some premiums, and a couple new Russians. I mean, what more could you want? So if we take a look, and yes, this Tiger is a tier 4, so battle rating 6.7, and it does have an 88, so you gotta consider that. But if we look, I don't know. Yeah, no, we really can't zoom in closer. But right here, you can kind of tell that there's like an extra armor plate added into it. If we look at armor, the base armor of the Tiger, I don't think is 150 millimeters thick. I think it's something more around like the 110 or something thick. Yeah, no, I don't think we can get an actual good enough angle on it to get the actual frontal armor and not the added. Yeah, no, that's unfortunate. But we can actually just take a look here if we go over to our Tiger 2P. Or actually, yeah, let's do the Tiger 2P because it's in about the same row. So if we look at the Tiger 2P, who has a 6.3 battle rating, its frontal armor, okay, so maybe it is the same. This is 150. Okay, maybe I've been a fool this whole time. Mama, help me. Alright. So on to our next point of interest, and that, my friends, is the glorious Russians, who got a brand new medium tank, the T-44-100. Look at this thing. Oh my god. It's hideous. Literally. Hey, Rusev. Yes, Dmitri? Let's put 100mm on T-44. Sounds good. Let's do it. Stalin will improve. Ay, ay, ay. The Russians will throw anything on a T-44 frame, won't they? Anyway, so the name pretty much says it all. It's a T-44 with a 100mm cannon. You're looking at a 100mm D10T cannon. And, besides, you really pretty much know what this tank is about. I mean, 90mm there. Don't shoot the turret. It's essentially a bad idea. 120, 110, and that's not taking into account, like, the sloping, you know. Effective thickness, 117. Effective thickness, 124. Like, good lord. So that kind of bridges the gap between the T-44 and the T-54. And then we have a new Russian anti-aircraft gun. Is this the one? Yes, it is. Yeah, look at that bad boy. That is a thing of beauty right there. That looks like something that should be mounted on like a Russian cruiser or a destroyer. Maybe a battleship. But, yeah, it's an anti-aircraft gun. It's the 94 KM 12, and it has 25mm 72K cannons. And, yeah, this thing, from what I hear, does pretty well for its tier. Obviously, there's no armor to it. But, yeah. Again, yes. Then, our Russian friends proceeded. I believe they also got the T-44-122. I may be wrong. That's why I'm not going to test drive it. But I believe you guys also got the T-44-122. I mean, like Dmitri and Rusev were talking earlier, you know, let's slap a 122 on this one. Maybe Stalin will like this even more. It's 22mm bigger. It's not the size that matters, it's what you do with it. Obama told me that once. He really didn't. And finally, our British friends, which, gotta say, British really leave a lot to be desired in this update. Before I go to the coolest part of the update, let's cover the premium tank first. The AC-4 Thunderbolt. Oy. It looks like a deformed cruiser or crusader. Good lord. So with this, you're packing a 76.2 millimeter QF 17 pounder cannon, which I don't exactly know the conversion rate or comparative idea process behind the behind British guns and doing pounders and stuff. But I'm gonna assume that this thing has a 76.2 millimeter gun in American terms. So, I mean, you're pretty much gonna wreck shop at tier 3 with this thing. Obviously, like the new German line, it's a glass cannon. I'm pretty sure I can take a Sherman and penetrate 50.8 millimeters of thickness. Pretty sure a Tiger is going to shoot through 63.5 millimeters of thickness. So, like almost all tanks that ever lived, another sniper. But I digress. That's another discussion and another rant. 4 crew, as you can see, and it actually doesn't look like ammo is too bad. From the sides, you're kind of screwed, but I think from the front, you're pretty much safe. Transmission will soak up anything you try to shoot low, and the left and right sides look like, well, the left side, protected by the driver here. The right side, not so much, but that's very slim margin to hit, so if you don't flank this thing, you're probably gonna struggle hitting ammunition, but maybe not. Maybe you'll get lucky with a ricochet piece. And we'll go ahead and test drive it. Have a little fun in a Thunderbolt. Have a little fun in a Thunderbolt. So yeah, next week expect a regular gameplay episode of Warthunder. I'll probably maybe stream some Warthunder this weekend. On my Twitch channel, not on YouTube, on my Twitch channel, to kind of have a little fun with 1.57, so you may join me then. If you don't already follow me on Twitter, I will post anywhere from 10 to, like, 30 minutes before I stream. And, you'll be able to join all the fun that my, other fans get. Man, I'll give the British one thing. They do make a beautiful sounding gun. Listen to this. Oh, so satisfying. And it reloads at a decent speed. Like, the British are just good at making well-rounded vehicles. Let's take a look at this thing in motion. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I've spent a lot of time looking at, like, World War II tanks, and, you know, I spent a lot of time looking at experimental tanks, prototype tanks, and looking them up on Google and whatnot. I can't honestly say that I've ever heard of this AC-4 Thunderbolt before they added it to this game. Listen again. Oh, so satisfying. But obviously, you know, that's tier 2. This thing is tier 3, so you're going to be fighting Panthers and whatnot, and I mean, obviously this is a side shot on a Panther, so it's all green. But let's see if you can actually pen a Panther from the front. Obviously, we're not going to go out and get distance because, you know, trying to do a review video in, like, under 30 minutes, though I'm probably not going to do it in under 30 minutes. You know, I digress, but, man, this thing is beautiful. Look at this. God, so gorgeous. And it's relatively fast. I mean, acceleration's not great. I mean, it's okay. But once it gets up to speed, it's not bad. Alright. So as we're rolling up on this Panther, we'll see if we can pen a Panther from the front. Because I'm pretty sure this is what you're going to be fighting, are Panthers and Tigers. So let's see here. Oh, cheek. No, that didn't exactly go where I wanted to hit it. Obviously, the sloping is never a good place to shoot on a German. You usually want to go for the turret ring, maybe a weak spot in the gun mantlet, like that last round did in this one. Yeah, this thing, I think if you aim for the right points, you can definitely hit the Panther from the front. Oh, yeah. See, I could, in theory... In theory, I could just send one right through the gun mantlet and kill. But yeah, that is that. I mean, and this beautiful reload time. Obviously, I'm going to kill a tiger from the side. But yeah, so there you go. The AC-4 Thunderbolt, which... Amazing little tank for... I think it was tier 3? I hope it was tier 3, because I just said that you'd be facing Panthers and Tigers, and they were tier 3, not 2. Yep, tier 3. So, there's that. Now, let's get to probably one of the tanks I'm the least excited for. The Falcon anti-aircraft tank. Yeah... 30mm HSS 831 large cannon. 2 of the suckers, as evident right there. And, I mean, it's a typical anti-aircraft gun. The armor is nothing. 12.7 thickness, fighting against mouse, M103s, IS-3s could even pen this thing. Like, I could probably take the Panzerjäger 1 and penetrate this thing. Like, this is ridiculous. This is one of the reasons why I don't play a lot of anti-aircraft guns, is just because of this. The armor on them are ridiculous. But they weren't really meant to be armored, to be fair. They were armored well enough to stop plane attacks, and that was it. Nothing more. And now, time for the best part of this entire patch. Well, besides the new map. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chieftain Mark III. Look at this beautiful thing. From the back, it almost looks like an Abrams. Look at that. Ugh. Could you imagine an Abrams tank in Warthunder? Like, if they ever, like, extended the tech tree to, like, tech 10 or 20, and the Abrams was... Oh, my God. Be such a beautiful machine. But the Chieftain Mark III is also very beautiful. I mean, look at this thing. Ugh, the curvature. So, the armor of this thing is pretty good, considering. I mean, you've got sloping all through here, so look at that. Effective thickness, 235 millimeters. Wow. That is a crazy angle. And the turret is not much better. I mean, even here, the weakest part of the turret, 252 millimeters. Good lord. And the strongest part, which is arguably here, 332. This thing is a force to be reckoned with. Look at that, 4 crew members. The most dangerous part about this, though, is this right here. Big, long, 120 millimeter ordnance beast. And I mean, that about wraps it up for 1.57. I mean, we got a new map, but in order for me to show off the map, I'd have to play like battle after battle after battle, and we'd be here for hours, so I can't do that. But yeah, 1.57, I think is a decent update. I mean, it didn't add anything super flashy besides that sexy Chieftain Mark III, but it did add several new tanks, a new anti-aircraft gun, some planes that I didn't even go over, because when I see a plane review video on for Warthunder, I don't even pay attention to it. I just say, you know, whatever. I mean, I play planes, but only when I get tired of tanks, which is very rare. So, yeah, but leave a like on the video if you enjoyed this, review. I know it wasn't the most entertaining thing, because I couldn't test drive everything and play around in the Chieftain Mark III, but, you know, you do what you can with what you've got. And I think I did that very well, but I want to thank everyone for watching. Please remember to leave a like, a comment, and to also subscribe. And, you know, if you're feeling extra charitable, why don't you tell me down in the comments what your favorite part of 1.57 is? Or maybe you don't say anything. Or maybe you comment that my videos suck, and then you unsubscribe. That's up to you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ta.